This is the last ever episode of NerdWire!
And we're really sad.
We're really gonna miss seeing you guys every day.
But we're not gonna miss the dick pics.
Or the part where we don't get paid enough to live.
Instead of doing a news story this morning, wouldn't I want to talk about some of our favorite parts of NerdWire news?
This video is way more for us than it is for you. I'm Whitney Van Lanningham.
And I'm Chris Carr.
And this used to be NerdWire! Okay. I'm probably gonna cry on camera for like all of this because NerdWire was the most special thing in the world to me.
We had so much fun every single day writing jokes together, and that's the most important thing.
Today, Chris and I want to talk to you about what it's like to make something really cool that you love more than anything else in the world with your best friends, and what it's like to have that thing totally fail.
This is the internet, guys, so nothing lasts forever. And we knew it wasn't going to. We were playing fast and loose with a YouTube channel built entirely around dick jokes, and it was bound to end sometime.
There's a comedy documentary out there that I really want you guys to watch. Actually, there are like 5, but the one Chris and I fell in love with is called Too Funny to Fail, and it's about the Dana Carvey show and how freaking cool it was until that show got canceled and everybody got fired and nobody knew if they'd ever work in comedy again.
There's a quote from Dana Carvey that really could have saved us a lot of heartache if we weren't already having too much fun. He said, "They let us do literally whatever we wanted to do. We had full reign. Nobody told us not to, so obviously we should have known that something was wrong."
That's exactly what NerdWire was to us. A little show where there were no grown-ups and no rules, and we got to be as funny as we wanted every single day. Sorry, I'm like actually crying now.
They let us write fan fiction scripts, wear pug onesies, and meet Mark Hamill. They bought me a beanbag chair and they let us play video games. And they even let us eat all the snacks in the break room.
They didn't let us do that, we just kind of did that.
It's the same thing. They didn't let Dana Carvey do skinheads from Maine either, but he did it!
Fair point! NerdWire was the type of project that makes you feel grateful that you didn't die when you were a sad kid in high school. Every single morning, I got to show up at 5 a.m. to write jokes with my best friends. And there were a lot of terrible days where I felt like I was dinner, but there were also a bunch of really amazing days where I felt like I was the shark.
We would drive to work before the sun came up, throw some whiskey in our coffee, and start writing.
There were a lot of mornings where the jokes didn't work.
And a bunch of mornings where the jokes wouldn't come.
But that was the cool thing about writing with Chris. Working with her turned me into the funniest possible version of myself, and I'll never write. Sorry, I'm just like crying now because you're cute and I love you. Working with her turned me into the funniest possible version of myself, and I'll never be able to repay her for that. Chris is the funniest person I have ever told jokes with on the internet for millions and for no one in her living room. I've been so lucky to have a friend who constantly pushes me to be funnier and better, who kicks my ass and makes my jokes better when I'm not funny, and who let me cry on her couch for 2 days when we found out we were getting canceled.
The best thing that came out of NerdWire was finding each other. And hey, guess what? You can find your Whitney too. Somewhere out there's gonna be a weird little gremlin person who loves you and won't shut up about her pug, and she'll wrap you up in her warm friendship. Somewhere out there's gonna be a weird little gremlin person who loves you and won't shut up about her pug, and she'll wrap you up in her warm friendship blanket and she won't let you leave.
The coolest part about this job for me was watching the outtakes and bloopers and seeing how f***ing funny we are together all the time.
We got to watch our friendship happen in front of the whole internet for the last 4 months, just like Stephen Colbert and Dana Carvey.
Only way cuter and with dogs.
So if you're thinking about starting a project with your friends, no matter how likely it is to fail, I want you to go do it.
And whenever someone tells you that you can't do something, that your jokes aren't funny, that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, I want you to say the same thing I said to our producers almost every day. I don't f***ing care if you like it.
Whitney is an actual crazy person in the writer's room. She writes whatever she wants, and it almost always works.
And if I hadn't met Chris, this never would have worked. She's so talented and perfect at literally everything she does.
Except reading.
Yeah, we're both profoundly illiterate.
Before we wrap this up, we just want to say thank you so much for supporting us and loving our show for the past 4 months.
Even though we didn't always agree on everything, reading your comments and talking to you guys about what you love made every single day worth it.
I can't tell you how many times we'd be right in the middle of shaking our fists at the sky when one of you would write us a sweet message and tell us that you loved our show.
We love our show too, and we really wish it didn't have to go away. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
You son of a Oh, that's so mean. But that's where you guys can help. We're going to be doing feature videos a few times a week, and we really need you to subscribe and share our videos.
NerdWire News failed, and it failed hard. We are not gonna lie to you about that. But when life gives you lemons, throw those suckers into a chilled glass of vodka and get back to writing jokes.
We aren't giving up on ourselves, and we're definitely not giving up on you. Our fans are the most important people in the world to us, right after my husband, and Dave, and our dogs.
We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support. We have enjoyed calling each and every one of you our friends and buttholes.
One last time.
For old time's sake, I'm Whitney Van Lanningham!
And I'm Chris Carr!
And this is NerdWire!